welcome to my reflections on the story and the life of Jesus. And in today's video, we're going to talk about belief. So right on the back of where Jesus is having this encounter with the religious leaders in the temple, he tells them this story about a father who owns a vineyard, and he instructs his boys, his two sons, to go work in the vineyard. To the one son says, no ways, but then later on he goes and works in the vineyard. The other son says, absolutely, yes, I'll do it, except he doesn't go work in the vineyard. And so he asks the religious leaders, so which of these two boys were obedient? Now, it's an easy question to answer, but Jesus is trying to highlight something in their life. And it's shocking to them when it comes out. He says to them that there are tax collectors and prostitutes, literally the lowest of the low of Jewish society, those who are seen to be the furthest away from the kingdom of heaven, the furthest away from God. These were serious sinners, not like the religious leaders who were held in high esteem and high honor, and they were right in the beginning of the queue, so it seemed, in God's economy. But Jesus says to them, it's the tax collectors and the prostitutes who are entering into the kingdom before you, before the religious leaders. And it was shocking to them. And then Jesus tells them another parable that was about the tenants in a vineyard. You see, he says that this owner, he planted this beautiful vineyard and he built this place up, and then he rented it out to tenants. And these tenants, they didn't pay what they were supposed to pay towards the owner. And so the owner sent his servants to them, and they just beat these servants and left them half dead. And then the owner says, you know what? They might not respect the servants that I sent to them, but they will respect my son. And so he sends his son. And they think to themselves, you know what? Now's an opportunity where we can kill the son and we can take this vineyard for ourselves. And so that's what they did. But then Jesus says, you know what happens to them? The owner sends an army or people to come and kill the tenants and restore the vineyard and rent it out to other people who will give him its fair worth. And Jesus is saying, guys, the tax collectors and prostitutes are entering into the kingdom before you. Because the kingdom is for those who will receive it. The kingdom is for those who will believe that Jesus is who he says he is, who want it. And so my reflection on this part of the story of Jesus is that all authority has been given to Jesus. All authority is his, and he has shown us the way to the kingdom. He has shown us the way of righteousness. He has shown us the way of life. Let us not be like the religious leaders who thought that on their own righteousness they would make it into heaven. That they said that they followed Jesus, that they followed God, that they were in his way, in his line, and they were going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Yet that they weren't obedient, and they didn't really want to receive the kingdom. Rather, let us be like the tax collectors and the prostitutes who might have said no at first, but a way of grace and life has been shown to us, and we want to receive it. We want to inherit eternity. We want to receive life. We want to receive Christ, because the way of the kingdom is not lip service. It is heart surgery. Let us want eternal life. Let us want to follow Jesus. Let us want to have his kingdom and do it his way. Well, I hope that this reflection has been helpful to you. I'd love to hear what reflections you have in this graphic story of what Jesus is telling. I'll catch you again in the next video.